Hello everyone and welcome back to Pierce Gaming. Today we're going to be reviewing On the Road. This is one of the newer truck sims that have been released for consoles. I've spent a couple hours with the game and there's a few things I've learned throughout it. So we got a lot to discuss right now. I'm going to create a new game just to kind of show you the menus and stuff like that. So we're just going to go through that, and I'm not using a steering wheel currently. I'm just going to use the controller for this. So without further ado, we're just going to start. So yeah, overwrite the profile. Okay. So here we got our menu here for creating our character. We have our player name. So I'm just going to put JC for Joseph Caron. Company name, JC, and then we'll go Hull. Awesome. So we get our player image. We have a few images here. There's actually a fair amount of images for just little stock imagery. So we're just gonna pick this guy because I feel like this guy's the closest to how I look in real life. Our company logo, as you can see here, is our company logos. So I'll go through those very slowly. Alright. And we have two truck brands. This is one of the pros of the game. They do have actual truck brands, unlike its predecessor. Well, not. I'm gonna say predecessor because it came before it, but it's not linked to it in any way. But truck driver. So we have MAN and we have Scania here. When I play Euro Truck Simulator, I'm more of a Scania guy, so I'm just gonna go with Scania. And then we have our headquarters. We have Berlin, Bremen, Dortmund. I'm sorry if I pronounce these bad. Duisburg, Frankfurt, Hamburg, Hanover, Kassel, Kiel, Cologne, Leipzig, Magdeburg, Munich, Nuremberg, Rostock, Stuttgart, and then Berlin and Bremen. And yeah. So we're just going to pick a random one. We don't really need to get too much into it. So we're just going to accept these. And now we're going to get into the game. So there's a few things that I want to quickly discuss while it's loading. The menu system in this game is just horrifying. The menus are not the greatest, and they just don't work very well. I've had a lot of issues in the menu system. But we're going to take a quick run through the menu system and all the options that are presented in the game. I am going to adjust the sound quick when I do get in, because I did have the sound adjusted for just me playing and kind of listening to music and stuff. So before we start the truck up and make a lot of noise, I'm just going to adjust the sound settings. But I'll go through all the settings for people, and that can kind of give them a heads up on how the settings work. So we're just waiting on it now. The loading screen's kind of long, but I don't really blame it because my PS4 is super old. Like, I got mine back in 2013. So here we have the new vehicles available option. Congratulations, you've received the cattle trailer and a semi from a company liquidation. Please choose a location of where you want to pick it up. So we're just going to pick Bremen. We're not going to go pick it up. So we have an email here. Now, I was having issues with this because I can't get the email to scroll. So it is just kind of the way it is. Yeah. So we're just going to close that. And then we'll go through the menu in a second. Yeah, see, this is one of the issues I have. I really do not like the way this game works. Hold on. Whoops. Sorry about this. Alright. So we're going to go to options. And we're going to scroll over to the thing here, and we're just going to turn the master volume right down. I'm just going to go right down for the master volume because we really don't need the volume. The trucks, I actually, yeah, so I'm just going to turn it down for now, and then I'm going to turn it up later just so you can hear the sound of the truck. Alright, so we're just going to do that for now. One of the things that a lot of people don't know is if you have this selection turned off, your mirrors will not work. So you have to go into the options menu, and then you have to scroll down and then show mirrors. So, and it says, please note that activating the mirrors has a great influence on the performance. Activation is at your own risk. So I didn't really notice much of a performance hit when I used the mirrors, to be completely honest. But yeah. So right off the bat, I do want to note that the shadowing is not the greatest. If you look around, like it just the thing says we're just gonna get our vehicle started here. The vehicle says it's 7:14 in the morning. So the lighting is just not the best. So we're not gonna worry about that right now. So I'm just gonna give a quick look at the interior. It does have a pretty nice interior, though. I'm gonna say, like, it does really replicate a nice Scania truck. All right, so we're gonna release our parking brake. We're gonna go through the menus. So we have our vehicle start menu. We have our ignition up, ignition down, EU control unit, card in or out, EU control unit change mode, EU control unit accept mode, on-screen nav off and on and off. That just turns off the little navigation in the corner. And then we have reset truck. And I've actually had to reset my truck a couple times. Some of it was my fault, some of it was the game's fault, but it is what it is. So, and then we have lights. We have our hazard lights. We have our light switch up. This turns up your dash. Light switch down. So then we have our fog switch up, which turns on our lights in the front. But for some reason, they don't show during the day. I'm not a big fan of that. The light test does work. So as you can see, it's just going to cycle through the lights. And there we go. So we're just going to leave that up. Then we have our gearbox. We have gearbox forward, gearbox backwards, retarder up, retarder down. We have our wipers. Wiper switch up, wiper switch down. And we have our seat adjustment. This is one of the cool features that I really like. I like the seat adjustment. So you can have your seat forward, seat backwards if you want your seat up a little more. I know I tend to put my seat up a lot because I use the steering wheel, so I kind of like the steering wheel to be on the bottom. So one of the issues that I have is, as you can see on the bottom left, it says put driver card into control slot, right? So I'm going to do that now. And I've put the card in the slot. There's no notifications, no anything that the card is in the slot. And I don't really like that. There's no like heads up on that. So you just kind of have to know whether your card's in and out. It's basically memory based at that point. And then we have to do our switch mode, and then we have to confirm it. So we go to the vehicle start again, and then we go to change mode, which there's no notification again, and then accept mode. So now our clock is going to start counting down. On the navigation, you'll see it on the bottom right hand corner. You'll see we have 9 hours and 0 minutes. So now we can start going. I'm actually going to turn the ignition down. You can actually see the counter's already started. and we're just going to go through the in-game stuff. Alright, so now we have our tablet thing for our logistics and whatever. So we have our overview page, which is our company overview page with all of our emails. We have our logistics page, which is where we get jobs and contracts. So one of the things that I had issues with when I first started is the fact that the jobs just don't come up. You actually have to go to the company. So we'll use this one here, and we have to click on it. So, and see, yeah, I don't like this at all. The menu's just slow, and it feels clunky. I just don't feel like it was done very good. So yeah, so we have our job listing. We have our vehicle listing, which for the longest time I couldn't figure out how to get in this truck. But I found out later on that you actually have to drive to it and then get out of your regular truck, which is this one, and then get into this truck. So you do actually start with 2 vehicles, which is kind of nice. So you have the option to have the tandem trailer, so you can haul stuff. And then you have the option for the semi-trailer, so you can have semi-trailers. So then we're going to go to the employees. This is where you manage your employees. I've never had an employee, so I'm not really sure how that works. And then we have our company finance overview page. So what we're going to do now is we're just going to, and see, another issue that I have is whenever you hit back to close the menu, it honks the horn. And I really don't like that. I think that was very poor. But it is what it is. The menu I found I actually started to like after a while. It's kind of nice because you can use this with a steering wheel. At first I really disliked this menu style, but now it kind of grew on me. So we're just going to go get some fuel. So one of the first things you'll notice is that you can't select waypoints on the GPS. There's just no possible way of doing that. So for that, you actually have to memorize it. So I have to turn left, I have to go around the corner, keep going straight, and then turn left at the intersection. So we're just going to start. The game, unfortunately, just feels a little dark to me. Like, it doesn't really, the lighting's not the best. I think that can be fixed just with a general quality of life update. Using a steering wheel is very nice. I find that using the controller, it just doesn't work as good. It's like the game's natively set for steering wheels. The one issue I did have when using the steering wheel was that the stopping was a little slower, whereas opposed to using the controller. The other thing I have an issue with is there's no stop and go. So you see here we're going forward, and now we're immediately going backwards. There is no releasing it and then re-engaging it. And sometimes I've had the issue where I found that my truck will roll forward or backwards, depending on what's going on. I've also had experienced drifting issues. And that's basically where my character would just keep moving forward for some unknown reason, or backwards, depending. But that's an issue I've noticed a lot with the steering wheel, not as much just using the controller. So we're just going to continue on here. If you take a look at the oncoming traffic while I'm traveling to this destination, you're going to notice that vehicles just kind of drop in. They don't really like come into the scene naturally. They just kind of like poof, drop on the road. And I think that's not very good. So we're on our way to the fuel station now. We're gonna go pick up some petrol, and I'm gonna show you how the fueling works. I find the menus aren't very user friendly, especially for someone who would be kind of newer to the whole trucking sim experience. It's just not very friendly. Yeah, see, as you can see, my reverse kicked in, when really it shouldn't have, because all I did was stop. So, there's a few other things about the game. I've only had it crash once, which I'm very surprised, because generally newer games tend to crash more. If you've played anything from Bethesda, you'll notice that. So, game crashing is not the worst thing in the world. When I did reset the game, it actually saved my exact spot, so I was pretty happy about that. So we're just on our way to the petrol station, and one of the big things you'll notice is that it looks actually not too bad. Like, it looks okay. It feels kind of like we're in a city. It doesn't feel like Euro Truck or American Truck, where you just kind of through 1 second and out the other. So that is one of the positive things about it. One of the things that I'm actually going to do here is there's no penalties in the game. So you see here, if I just jump this curb and drive forward, there is no penalty for that. Nothing came up, nothing happened to me. There's just no penalties. So here we are, we're coming up to the petrol station. We are going to fuel up our truck. So let's get inside. Alright, and we'll pull the truck over here. Yeah, see there. And that was another issue that I had. Like, it just randomly started rolling backwards when all I did was want to stop. You do see your liter gauge, your price gauge, and the euros it's costing. We have 46 out of 1,100 liters, and we're just going to get out and start fueling it. So one of the issues I did have, and this is primarily where I had it, was it's not going to happen now because I don't have my steering wheel plugged in. But if you use steering wheel, I found that the character would just keep moving forward just like this. And that's all it would do. And if you tried to, you would pull the thing back and it would still just keep moving forward just like that. One of the pros, though, is you actually have to put fuel in it. So we're just going to fuel up our truck. It is nice that you can get out and kind of walk around. That is something that a lot of trucking sims are missing. And it's nice that the game kind of puts that in and says, hey, you can get out and walk around your truck. Another cool feature is that you can actually open your doors. And I'm going to show you that in just a second. So we've got our truck fueled up. And we're going to go get back in it now. Alright. So we're going to start our truck now. And we're going to release our parking brake, and we're going to start going. Actually, I'm going to put the parking brake on for a second. I'm just going to find a random job. We're probably not going to do the job, but I'm just going to show you. So we're going to do this, and we'll just accept it. So that's how you accept jobs. You just go into your menu. You have to actually click them, and then you will accept them. So we're going to do this. All right. And it's going to give us the nice on-screen navigation. So we're just going to pull out of here. It is kind of nice that you can look around. That is a thing that's going to be missing if you're just using a steering wheel. But so we're going to run this red light again, and we're going to see. And there's no penalty. Alright. Oop, I actually went the wrong way. So we're just gonna zoom in on the map. Yeah, So we're going to turn around here because there's no penalties. Actually, this is a great example. So I'll show you the reset truck now. So sometimes things will happen and you have to just reset your truck. So there we go. Ignition out. And see, it's kind of nice because it tells you when the card's not in the slot. So I'll go to drive and you'll see that it'll give me that because the card's not in the slot. So we're going to have to put our card back in the slot, card in, change mode, accept, and there we go. Oop, I forgot to release the parking brake. Oop. Yeah, see, this is what I mean. Look, it's just, this is not the greatest. It can be fixed with a couple of updates, though, I'm sure. This game is still pretty new, so at the time of this review, I think it's been out for 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks. So it's still in its infancy. But we're going to get into my recommendations after. Alright. So now we're going to go down the road and we're going to go get a load quick. This is one of the cooler aspects of the game. This definitely is a pro for the game. The way you get and accept your loads. One of the things that I really kind of dislike is the fact that the lights are so long. But that's just me being a little nitpicky. I feel like the red lights take forever. But I mean, the red lights take forever in real life too. I apologize. So one of the things you'll notice is that there is other transports driving around. This was one of the issues in Truck Driver, was that there was no transports driving around. This game does have them. So that is kind of nice. It makes you feel like you're on the road with other transports. So we're just on our way to pick up our load. And I'm going to show you the loading portion of the game. And we got to turn left here. Oh, and it actually came to a nice stop that time. We have the green lights, so we're going to go. As you can see, the vehicles kind of drop in. They don't really come into the frame, they just kind of drop in and then start moving. Alright, so we're pulling into our destination now. We're going to go pick up our load, and I'm going to show you that. Just going to back in here. So there is a penalty system for hitting other vehicles. Alright. Oh, we're just gonna... There we go. And I forgot to open my thing. Oops. So we're just gonna pull forward a little bit. And we'll see if we can open the doors. So one of the nice things about this game is you actually have to... that was really loud. One of the things you'll notice is that you actually have to open the doors. And then we go to our logistics center here. And we just accept the shipment. Okay. So it gets loaded on. The nice thing is you can actually see the load. So I'm just going to click this. And I'm going to click that. I'm just going to run away from that to reduce the sound. And there we go. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the ignition off for a second. I'm going to go into the menu and I'm going to adjust the options so you can hear the sound of the truck. Alright, so let's turn our master volume up. Alright. So now we're going to do this here. Ignition up. So this is what it sounds like when you're in the cab. And that's what it sounds like when you're out of the cab. So it does sound kind of nice. And we have that nice little Scania wind down, which is very true to the Scania brand. There. So I'm going to put my ignition down. We're going to put the parking brake on, and I'm going to finish up this review. So on the road as a whole, I feel is okay at best right now. Do I recommend that you buy the game? Not in this stage. I would definitely wait for future developments and updates. And I'll be keeping people updated on the state of the game as it progresses. I will also be doing live streams of the game. Those are yet to be determined. But as a whole right now, I don't think I would recommend buying it. I live in Canada, so it cost me $40. Which is, to be fair, it's half of a AAA title. So, it all depends on what you're looking for. In the end, like, if you're into this, then, yeah, definitely. I would say, okay, yeah, do it. But, if you're looking for a well-performed experience, I'm sorry, I just don't think that it's at its peak right now. It needs a lot of updates and a lot of work. So that concludes my review of On the Road. I hope you enjoyed it. If you like what you see, comment and subscribe. Thank you very much for taking the time to watch this review. Like I said, I'll be doing live streams in the future of On the Road, and I'll be keeping tabs on it and just kind of updating people. So that's all, and bye for now. Thank you. Have a nice day.